This is Mary at the.meri.atelier, and today I am going to work on Inktober Day 4. I'm having a lot of fun doing these Inktobers, and I was thinking, I actually do three pictures in one day. So I am really, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm ready for day 10, really. If I can always say, well, I did 3. I did 3 the other day. So will be my story, and I'm sticking to it. I did the ball jar. I did 2 postcards there, and the lantern and 2 postcards, and the clock and 2 postcards. Now, I've already sent out the clock. The lantern's ready to go. I've got my mail, and the ball jar is ready to go, and I've got it with my mail ready to go out. So let's move on to day 4. And what I'm doing on this is I'm making flip pages on every other one. So day 1 will be here, and you'll turn the page like this, and this will flip this way, and you'll be able to see this postcard here and the lantern on the back of that. And then the ball jar here, and then it will flip, and day 4 will be over here. And then the day 4 postcard up in this area. So that is how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to work on a flat sheet today. Just a flat sheet of paper. I believe it is about 8.5 by 10, something like that. Maybe not quite 8.5, about 8 1/4 by 10 1/4, I believe. I'm not going to measure it here, but if that's the approximate size of the paper. I've been using my Sharpie to do the initial sketch. It's a Sharpie fine point. And I've been using calligraphy ink and Higgins ink to really do painting, inking of what I do. I've been using these little fine point craft brushes and this larger one to fill in the background. That is what I've been doing so far, at least for week 1. I don't know if I'm going to continue that through week 2. I might change to a different style in week 2. I haven't decided. My entire theme is vintage things, and let me show you what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do a sketch of keys from a photo that I got on Pixabay, or not Pixabay. I got this one on Unsplash. I'm sorry. So I will put a reference to it in my description box below. So I always unplug my phone to draw these because it kind of gets in my way. And I have found that if I put my phone over here like this, yes, come on, my little erasers will hold them. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm ready. Just about like this, I believe. And this one is going to be primarily blacks and grays, maybe with a little sepia. I might work with this sepia. I'm not sure. So let's sketch. Shall I do all 4 keys? I think I will. And I'm going to continue to make them large. This is the largest key. I also like to verbalize when I am sketching from a photo reference. I like to verbalize what I'm seeing. Just shortly, I don't have to verbalize every little detail, but it helps me remember what I saw or what I'm seeing. So this key is a fairly short one. And it looks about like this one over here, only one is turned this way and one is turned that way. And then this is a longer key, It's a little bit different style. It doesn't have this little mechanism up in there. And then there's an even shorter key down here. So you might hear a train in the background. We have a lot of trains going through. That's what happens. That is what happens. So these two keys start maybe not a third, maybe about 3/8 of an inch up the page. So let's say this is a half here. So maybe come down right about here. But I think I'm going to go up just a little higher even because, just because. And they are at maybe a 45-degree angle approximately. It doesn't have to be exact. So let's just draw a line. And I do sketch. I don't try to draw everything in one beautiful straight line. I don't have anything against that, but I'm a sketcher. And let's see, probably about like that. Coming this way. Now, I don't know if you can see this until I get the color on it. You may not be able to see this until I actually get color on it. So I'm just doing things. And this actually should not be that hard to do. Now, it looks like these keys are sitting on a tiled floor or a tiled tabletop or a tiled surface. Let's just draw it like that. And draw some little lines here. And I believe there's another one up in here, kind of little curves. And then there's an extension here, and it kind of rounds off in there. It comes back that way. And here's the unlocking mechanism, I guess, or locking. This is the little key portion. I don't know what they call this on a key. What do they call that little mechanism there? I don't know. All right. And then, of course, as I look at it in coloring, this area up here is much darker on this side, much darker. Okay, now this larger key falls right in here, and the mechanism, the little, I don't know what you call it, mechanism, actually falls right down underneath of the handle portion, this little curved hand. I'm going to call that the handle. It'd be interesting to research and see what the parts of the keys are called, even if they have names. I guess a locksmith could probably tell you, but I'm not a locksmith. Oh dear. Okay, then it comes this way. And this is a little short area, and it's got a little width to it. And right in here, there is a round portion in there, a rounded area like that. And it comes on up like that. And then on here, it looks like it has some sort of maybe a gold, could be old paint. I'm not sure what it is. And it rounds off like this, like that, and rounds off this way. And I can actually see on this side, I can see the side of the key, just barely. And I can kind of see the sides over here too. And let's bring this around this way. Yeah. All right, there's two of them. Now I'm ready for this one, which is the same as the first one, only this portion is facing that way instead of this way. And it's a little bit closer to that larger key. And it comes out and has a little square area in there, comes in and has a little indentation, and then it's not quite as long in here, right in there. And right up in here, it has this same rounded area right in there, and just a little bit of a length, and then the rounded area, and it comes up above just about to the top of this one, right in here. Maybe a little bit of a different line there. And it doesn't matter if I go back and forth on those lines because I'll be shading that part in anyway. And then a line there and a line here. And then we've got the handle portion up here, just about on the same level as this. And just about the same size. Now we got the smaller key right down in here. And I can see the side of that. It's rounded. Comes this way. And just about to the end before it has its own little roundy area in here. Maybe not even that wide. It actually has several little rounds. And it's a smaller key. It's a shorter key. But it's also has a more interesting handle to it. The handle comes out this way and out this way and has sort of a diamond shape in here. And then it has a round circle in here and another one over here. And one up in here. And it goes around like that. Goes around that way. And comes around this way. And that actually forms more of a shape like that. All right. Now, I have a lot of space in here. And I don't think I have the same on my... So what I think I'm going to do is actually add another key because I have room for it. And I think I'll put another smaller one. And what would happen if I would edit this and rotate it and maybe flip it? Vertical? No, that's not what I want to do. Horizontal. No, I don't want to do that. Reset. Here. Yeah. I want to flip it. There. No. Here. I don't know what I did there. Oh, I see what I did. Let's I'm trying to get this flipped, and I'm not sure my settings will do that. It'll rotate it. Can I do that? No. Well, I got my key up there. What would happen if I would rotate this now? Is that the way I want it? Not really. Well, let's just draw it again in here. Can I do that visually? Let's just draw it again up in here. I don't want to spend all night trying to flip that picture. I'm not even sure it can do it. So I'm going to draw this again, the short key again in here. Because I have this space up in here. And I probably could come over a little bit more with it. Draw it in here. Let's go way over. Right there. Ignore that. I'll paint that out. Even though it's in ink, it'll be painted out. It's just there. It's an oops. It's an oops. All right. And it'll come here and then kind of go in that way. Make some little round circles in there. And here's the diamond shape in here. And a circle. And another circle. And another circle in here. Now, just because I'm just got all this space, I'm going to keep drawing some keys. Let's put another key in here. I'm going to work on this larger one again. It's got sort of a little like that. Comes up this way, comes down. It's actually fairly large in there. It's got a handle. Like that. And that's fairly round. Let's put a shorter one in here. Now, I don't know if I'll do the same thing on the postcards. I might only draw 2 keys. It just depends on the space. I'm just filling in space here. And let's do some rounds in there and then bring it down that way. Do a round little shaft in there. And bring it out this way. Like that. Like that. Put in a circle. And a diamond. And a small circle. I feel like putting one in here too. Let's do another short one up in here because I like them. I like the little short ones. Like that. Make the little diamond shape. And a circle. And a circle. And this circle in here. I have to laugh. My laptop's trying to catch up with me. It's way behind. All right. I'm pretty happy with that. Now I could stop right there and call it Inktober because I've drawn with pen and ink. But we're not going to stop there, are we? Let's get out our inks. And I'll probably use my black and maybe my sepia. This is sepia and this is blue, green, black. This is sepia and black. I have this little tray that these inks came in that I've been using as a palette. And I think I'll go in with some really light tan washes first. And I'm just going to use the lid. That's what I've been doing. And I'm going to just spray a little water in it. And I'm going to use a little bit wider brush. Not a huge wide one. A little bit more water in there. I want to wash. Okay. So let's grab onto that and let's add some colors to this. So they're kind of got some tonal values to them here. These especially. Add some inks to them. This is more of a gray, so we're gonna put some browns on there, but very, very light because it's more of a grayish color. There's some browns, kind of a brownish gold in there. And we'll just continue with the inks here. I've got more than enough wash in my lid. Don't need a whole lot. Now I have some FW inks, and I might use those in the second week. They're more of a painter ink. They're more of an acrylic ink. So I might be doing different things with those next week. But this is only day 4, so we got 3 more to go this week on these. Let's see. Now, see, I have a goofy in there. But oh well. It's just doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just giving it its initial wash here. just to define the color, to define where the key is. And you know, here's the thing too. This does not have to be realistic. I tend to be very illustrative when I sketch and draw. I wouldn't call this a photorealistic at all. It's more illustrative. I call that my style. I think my style is very illustrative. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the blacks. Let's put these way over here. Put that there. And if I give it a little shake, that'll get some ink down into the lid. Let's open her up. See, got a little ink in there. I'm going to give it a squirt. Get a wash in there. Now, this is still sort of wet in places. Dry it. So, I'm going to make this more of a gray. It's got some browns in it, but there's a lot of gray tones. Grays. Now I can make this a little darker if I want it, just by dipping my brush in there and bring it back into the wash. And when I do that, I like to see exactly what I've done. So I have this little sheet of paper that I've been using as a test sheet. I think I like that. So let's go back in with my grays. And this is very dark. In fact, I think I'll dip my pen back in ink again, my paintbrush, and get it darker yet. It's a very dark. And if I go outside the line, that really does not bother me. The lines are just there to help guide me. They're not there to say this is perfect or anything like that. Now let's do this one. Let's see if I can't bring this down there. It's all about practice, practice, practice. Now we're on my little one. And he actually has a little white area in there. And on the side here. He kind of gets darker in there. sometimes I get into the zone, they say. Those of us who go live, when we all of a sudden go quiet and we're not talking, we're concentrating on what we're doing. And in a live stream, they go, Mary's in the zone. Mary's in the zone, in her zone. And you're focusing on what you're doing rather than focusing on doing a video or anything such as that. Now this, I think I'm going to put the light up at the top. This will still be colored. And yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I am pretty happy with it. Now the question is, what do I want to do at the background? On the photograph itself, it is white, and you can kind of see some streaks in there. I'm thinking I want my background to be blue and maybe brownish tiles. Or I could make them very graphic. I don't think I'm going to go the graphic route. Let's finish this one. But if I go blue, I think I wanted a very, very light blue. Well, do I, or do I want it a dark blue? I have to think about that. I kind of like it white. What I could do is put dark blue here and let it fade into the center. I think that's what I'll do. And I do that with my larger brush here, which probably has some blue on it. Yeah, it does. Let's get this washed off a little. See, bring my blue here and then let it fade off into there. Just put a drip of water in there with my brush. Yeah, we'll try that. And the blue, let's put this ink over here so I don't spill it. The blue, that's green. We could go green. Green would look pretty, but let's go with the blue since that's what I want. And let's get that wet again. Let's just bring the brush down that way. Now let's dip it in there. Ink. And let's kind of make it flow around in here. We don't want to forget the centers. If I can pick a little of that up. Bring this down. let it flow into here. Kind of like doing that with a really light wash. Gets those centers inside of the keys there. Yeah. Oh, let's do the same thing over this way. See what happens. And bring my water in here, just like you would a watercolor. Just like you would. In fact, I'm almost using my ink as a watercolor. And then I'm just gonna push this out. Let it meet this. I kind of like that. Yeah, I hear something going on next door. All right, let's do this down in here. I'll bring that up in there. I'm going to block this a little. Get a little of that up. That color up. Now, I do know I'm going to put gold around the edge. So I also know that gold will show up really nice on the darker blue. Let's dry this. So I'm going to come in with a dark blue around the border, I believe. And this is a mixed media paper. I'm not too worried about the back because I will just be putting a wash on the back. And I do believe it goes like this. See how much lighter it dried? Now, what I want to do, just kind of flatten this out a little if I can. What I want to do is come with my brush, dip it in the blue, and we're going to border this. Because I'm going to do a gold for this. And I know that the gold will show up really nice on the dark blue and not so much on the lighter blue. I just set my phone over aside because I'm done with that for now. Now I'm just off in my own world here. Let's do the border. And I mean, I'm not looking at the reference photo anymore. I'm just framing it off here. Mm-hmm. You know, your Inktober does not have to look like the most famous artist who's doing Inktober out on Instagram. I very seldom look at Instagrams. I look at one or two people and maybe some of my friends that are doing it. I'll look at theirs. But I don't just go on Instagram and look for, I'm just going to leave this ink on this brush because I get very discouraged and I'm going, you start comparing. Don't compare what you're doing to what anybody else is doing. In fact, I would almost encourage you, unless you're trying to learn from them, I would encourage you not to look at them till after November 1st. Then go and put your hashtag in there and look at what people did, especially if you are prone to compare yourself to others. Don't even look at them until, well, okay, say you do a week, maybe even. But I haven't put hashtag Instagram in there. I look at Dee Dee's and some of the others that are on Twitter. I look at those. But I would almost encourage you not to, because especially, like I said, if you are prone to comparing yourself to other people, don't do that to yourself. Let's get some lines in here. Don't do it to you. I'm just drawing here. I try to continually talk while I'm working, but sometimes I run out of things to say. Right now, I'm just detailing the keys so that they show up a little bit better on the page. That's the only thing I'm doing. I'm doing it with a fine liner brush, a liner brush, and black ink. And once I get ink on my brush, I'll come over to the side and maybe blot it off just a little so I don't get a puddle of ink on my page where I didn't want it. That key got a little thin right in here. And that was just because my paper was warped. And so my brush wanted to follow the warp of the page. And I would attribute that to the media that I'm using, the paper, the substrate. Now see how I got that black line in there. I do like it with the black lines on there. They just help bring the key out, refine the drawing a little bit better. And you can make it look a little three-dimensional by adding a side to these, like that. I should be working out of the cap, but I think my cap has water in it. Let's clean the cap out. And let's just take some ink and put in there. To work on. Now, clean my brush off a little. And I'm not saying this is a masterpiece. I'm saying this is my day 4 of Inktober. That's all it is, my day 4. I'm just out there having fun like everybody else is. And I have to tell you, sometimes I have to force myself. Like today is October 5th. I'm working on day 4. I'm still a day behind. I've done both 3 and 4 today. But I'm having to force myself to come in here and do this. And it's that same old thing with Mary. If I have to get it done, I freeze up. I just don't want to do it. If there's no deadline, if I'm not doing happy mail, if I'm just coming in here having fun, no pressure, I enjoy it. And I will say, when I got that clock back in the mail today, that encouraged me because that kind of, and that's one reason why I'm kind of mailing them to myself because it's like my own happy mail and I can see the result of it. And yeah, that motivates me, I guess is the word for it, to get in here and do my art. So if you've lost your mojo, why don't you sit down and do a postcard and send it to yourself and see how you feel when you get that back in the mail? Does that make you want to go do another one or not? Oh, yeah, I got those lines in there. That's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be. Oops. Another warp in the page there. I really like this shape of this key. I really do like it. The handle, the 3 circles, and the diamond in there. Let's make it look a little dimensional there. Yeah, so if you've lost your mojo, sit down, get a 3.5 by 5.5 piece of watercolor paper. Do something really simple, even if you're just scribbling ink on your page. Address it to yourself. Go put a stamp on it. Mail it. And see how you feel when you get it back in the mail. Like, who did this? Oh. For me, it made me want to do more. For me, I thought, wow, this is cool. If you want happy mail, you got to send it to yourself, except for that's not the case with me. I get plenty of happy mail. And the other thing is I'm doing 2 postcards. So I send one to me and one as happy mail in a giveaway. And that's fun to do. I think I'm going to get a little bit more of this black ink. Just a drop. Can I do a drop? I need a dropper. Just a drop. Yeah, I dropped it all right. Yeah. At least it didn't go on my sketch. Now let's put it down in here. Little lines. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Round this off a little. Let's round it off, maybe some double troubles in there, and some double troubles in here, maybe on the bottom. There. I think I'm happy with it. Except I think it goes like this. When I drew it like this, I believe. I do think I'm going to leave it just like that. And then I'll put gold around there, and then there'll be splatter on it. So let's wash out my brush. I should probably get me a clean towel. I messed that one up. So let's do our postcard. Now that I know what I'm doing with these keys, my postcards generally go a little bit easier. So let's get out a postcard, and I put them on a piece of blue paper when I'm working them. So I think I'll only put a couple of keys. Now let me get my phone out and see what you are seeing. Yeah, what did I do here? Did I shut me off? All right, let's try to zoom in a little for you. Plus, plus, plus. Let's see what that did. Oh, and now I have to go down. Did that bring it down? Should I go down one more? One more. Oops, I expanded it one more. Now let's go down one more. To find my way here. There we go. All right. So I'm going to go do one at a time here. And let's go out to my photograph. Keys. Yeah, my inks are, I keep moving them around on my table here. Let's see what I got there, a little blot of ink. I think I'm okay. Okay, let's put my phone back over here. I think I'm only going to do 2 keys, so it should go just a little bit faster. And where's my Sharpie? Where's my Sharpie? Here it is, hiding from me. All right. So I'm going to do, I believe I'm going to do this darker long one and the darker short one. I like those two. All right, so here we go. And And I'm going to do them vertical. Let's start with the shorter one. And let's start right about in here. And he's got a little shank like this, like that. And he's like this, and like this. It's got some round pieces on him like that. And kind of come down like that, and another little round piece, sort of like that. And then he comes down like that, and like that. And he's got that diamond shape. Oh, I'm liking this. If I don't mess it up, a circle here, and a circle here, and a smaller one in there. There. Okay, I like that. Now let's put the longer one up here. And we want it to go like this. Let's start there and bring it up this way and end it maybe right there. And put the shank on it or whatever it is. I don't know what that's called. I confess I don't know all the parts of a key. I'll have to go look it up afterwards. All right. That shank in there, and there is actually a round sort of a metal piece there. And there's another one. On this one, there's another one down here. So I'm going to put it on there just to add some interest. And then it's got kind of a sweetheart circle in there. I call it sweetheart because it's got that little indentation there. And it comes around like that. Like that. Now, you know what? It really does need another one. It needs another key. This key is actually bigger than this key on this photograph, but I kind of like that key, just the way it is. Let's put a smaller key up here. Let's make a smaller one. And I might not do the same on the other postcard. We'll see what happens. It kind of comes around like that. It's got the same type of a sweetheart in there. Like that. It has its little mechanism here. I don't know what that's called. The lock portion. It goes into the lock. There. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Okay, so let's do the brown. And oh, by golly, I have it right out here. I'm going to use what I have out. And you know, I could almost do the blue the same way. I might try that on these. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just getting some brownish gold sepia tones in here. Not gold, well, kind of a sepia, kind of got a yellow tone to it on the in this ink. Okay, so let's go over here and let's squirt a little water in that blue. Let's add some blue and add some water. Yeah. And all I want to do is just really fast ink in my tabletop here. And I don't think I could have done the same thing. Well, I might have with a larger brush, but with this, with a smaller area here, it's easier to do a fast background with the blue like this, because I don't have this big white space that I had on that larger page. If that makes any sense. So I got blue in there. And try to get those lines out. That ink can dry where the lines are. Try to wash it all in by itself so it's all one unit, so to speak. Oop. There we go. I'm pretty happy with that. Now I don't have the black tones on there yet. I just wanted to see how that light blue would work. Let's go do my black tones with a wash. And I'm actually going to pull my palette out and grab some of this and put it in there. And just do a little squirt of water. Might need a little more black tone in there. Now you could work in shading and shadow and all of that. That's not the point of what I'm doing here. I'm just drawing the keys for the fun of it. I'm just doing the keys. I have to laugh. My laptop's still on the big sheet. My laptop is lagging big time. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go and detail it. Let's dry it first because it's a little bit wet. And let's detail it with the actual black in here. So what could I put on the back of these postcards? Practice is the key. Practice is the key. I don't know. I'll have to think of something good. I might just put just a hello on it. Just saying hello. And I actually think I will put a double line here to give it a little dimension. And maybe in here and there, just to give it a little dimension. Oops, now see, this is wet, so I don't want to put my hand in that. Just a little hello. I think that's all I'll put on it. I am actually drawing with my paintbrush. I'm going over what I already drew, but it still takes a certain amount of skill. Don't want to mess this up. Yeah, I think I'll just leave that like that. I'm pretty happy with it. Maybe I'll put a line in here. Just does not have to be perfect. All right, let's wash that brush out and let's go do some gold on the edge with that flat brush that I was using. What was that? That was my liner brush. This one, I believe. Let's go into the blue there. And you know what? That's a blue wash. Let's just dip it right into the blue. And the only reason we're doing this is so that the gold will show up when I do a gold line. And when your paper warps, your brush wants to follow the warp. Your brush wants to follow the warp. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Now, I actually drew this way, but I think I'm going to sign it down in here, and that will, my signature will help center this just a little bit more. I kind of like it this way anyway. So let's just set it aside. Let's wash out this brush. I think I can wash out this big brush too. We'll let that dry. And let's do the next one. Let's turn my paper over. And we're back to the keys again. We're back to the keys. And we're going to do, I'm going to do it right down, put this one. Let's start with this key this time. You know, where do we want to put him in here? Yeah. Let's bring him all the way up here. And this key actually does not have this little shank on here, but I'm going to put it on there for interest. And all the way up in there. Maybe have that taper off just a little. And it has a we're just going to put a little piece there. And let's put some interest in here. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Now let's do this one. Let's start it out here. Maybe down a little. And make the little diamond shape in there. And around that way. And the handle. Now this one's a shorter key, so I think I'm still going to be okay. I'll put the, yeah, I will. Up there. make a couple little round things here, up in there, and this comes out a little bit more like that, maybe, and around like that. Okay, I'm still on my big sheet. Do we want to do a third key? I actually like this one with just 2 keys. I think a third key would be, unless I made it really small, but I just don't think I will. I think I'm happy with it. That's